Hey, welcome to your practice test on expansions and indices. Danger, danger. Do not attempt this test unless you've done some revision, because it might scare you to death. So go away and do some revision before handling this. This test is a video practice test and it's out of 60 marks. Okay, so you've got about 60 minutes to do it. About every minute you should be getting a mark. Okay, so what we'll do is I'm going to roll the presentation now, and you pause it after each question, have a go, and go right through to the end. Stop it, stop the video, check your work, and then roll the video again, and it'll go back to the beginning, and you'll watch me go through and do the answers. Do not, it's very important that you don't look at the answers before doing the test. I think that's obvious. Okay, let's get going now. Here's the first question. So pause it, have a go. Let's go to the second question now. Here we go. Second question worth 6 marks this one. Remember, you're working at about the rate of 1 minute per mark, so this question should take you about 6 minutes. Okay, moving on to question 3. Pause it and have a go. Question 4 and question 5. Question 6. And we'll just creep this last little bit up for question 6. Get rid of that. Question 7. Question 8. And the last question, question 9. Okay, the last 2 questions are a bit harder, more challenging questions. So, pause the presentation now and check your work, and we'll just get rid of this little mark down here. And now what I'm going to do is to go back to the beginning and show you how to do everything. Okay, here we go. I'd like you to mark your work now, and I'm going to show you the mark scheme as we go. Alright, so let's have a look at question 1. Expansion. This means 6 times x, which is 6x. 6 times neg 3 is neg 18. Okay, so there's 1 mark. You've got to get both parts right to get the 1 mark. Neg 2 times x is neg 2x. Neg 2 by positive 3, negative times positive is a negative. Negative 6. 1 mark for that. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times neg x is neg 3x. 1 mark for that. Well, here's more negatives here. Neg 4 by 3, negative times positive is a negative. Negative 4 by negative 2x is plus 8x. So there's 4 marks, first 4. I hope you got those. Let's go on now and have a look at question 2. So here we have a number out the front. So it's 5 plus 2 by x is 2x. 2 by neg 2 is neg 4. So now collecting up the numbers together, 5 take 4 is 1 plus 2x. Okay, over here, number out the front, leave that alone for the minute. And 5 by x is 5x. 5 by neg 1, neg 5. Collecting up the numbers, neg 6 take 5, further down the number line, you're way down at neg 11 now, plus 5x. Okay, now these are all worth 2, sorry. 1 for each term. A tick means 1. Okay, in this one now, 7 neg x by 1. That's the same as saying neg 1x. So it's just neg x. Neg by negative 3 is positive 3. And so we've got 7 plus 3 is 10. Take x. And 1 for the 10 and 1 for the neg x. Hope you're getting some marks there. Okay, let's go to question 3. So now we have a bigger expression. So it's 2 by x is 2x plus 2 by 4 is 8. So there's 1 mark. No, we haven't finished yet. I won't give you any marks yet until we've done the whole problem. So here plus 3 by x is 3x. 3 by neg 2 is neg 6. Okay, so then it's 2x plus 3x is 5x. and 8 take 6 is 2. Okay, so there's 2 marks for this, 1 for that line and 1 for that line. Okay, the next one, x by x, number by itself is the square. X by 2 is plus 2x, put the number in front. Then neg 2x by x, neg 2 doesn't change, but x by x is x squared. And neg 2x by neg 4 is plus 8x. And so what we've got then, collect up the x squareds. X squared take 2x squared is neg 1 or neg x squared. 2x plus 8x is 10x. Okay. Alright, so again, 1 for the first line and 1 for collecting the terms. This one now, let's have a go. M by m is m squared. M by neg 1 is neg m. And then plus 3 by 2m is 6m, plus 3 by 3 is 9. So now collecting that, there's only one m squared there. Take m, and plus 6m is plus 5m, plus 9. Okay, there you are, 1 for that line and 1 for that line. Hope you're going well. There are no half marks in maths now. We're only paying the mark for the complete item. Okay, question 4. Some harder expansions. These are all done by the process which we commonly remember as FOIL, first, outers, inners, last. Or in other words, every term in the first bracket multiplied by everything in the second bracket. Let's have a look. X by x is x squared. X by neg 2, neg 2x. Neg 5 by x, neg 5x. Neg 5 by neg 2, plus 10. So this is then x squared, collecting these up, neg 7x plus 10. Okay, so this is worth 4 marks, 1 for that line and 1 for collecting up the like terms correctly. Okay, let's do it again. 3x by 2x, 6x squared. 3x by 7 is plus 21x. Neg 2 by 2x, neg 4x. Neg 2 by 7, neg 14. So this then is 6x squared. 21x take 4x is plus 17x take 14. Okay, so again, 1 for expansion and 1 for collecting like terms. Okay, how are you going? Hope you're going well with the marks here. Question 5, some special expansions now. So this is a pattern. A plus B by A take B. That's the general rule type. A plus B, same terms with different sign between them. It always comes to A squared take B squared, doesn't it? Because you've got A times neg B is neg AB, and plus BA. And multiplication is commutative, so AB in that order is the same as BA. So you're really expected to write this down as B squared take 3 squared, which is 9. If you put a working line in between, that's okay, but the marks here are for the final answer, 1 for that and 1 for that. Let's have a look at x plus 3 all squared, and here I'll put over here, this is following the rule a plus b all squared, which is the first one squared, plus twice the product, plus the second one squared. Okay, remembering if the two brackets are the same, the middle term doesn't cancel out, it doubles. You've got 2 of them. Okay, check that with FOIL. So let's go back and do this one the quick way. It's x squared, twice the product is 3x, twice the product is 6x, plus the second one squared is 9. Okay, so here there are 2 marks for that answer. 1 mark off for every error in that answer. Okay, do you recognise this one? You could FOIL it, but probably the best way is to see that it's an A plus B by A take B type. So it's the first one squared, square the 2 is 4, square the m, 4m squared, take n squared. First one squared minus second one squared, it's this one over here. So again, there's 1 for each of those terms. All right. Well, that's the end of the basic ones for expansions. Let's do some basic ones for indices now. So here we are. Same basis, multiplication becomes the addition of indices. 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay, 1 mark for that. And here both got bases of y, so it's y add the powers, y to the 5th. 1 mark for that. 3m to the naught is 3 times m to the naught is 1, provided that, with the proviso, PV proviso, m is not equal to naught. So the answer here is 3, 1 for that. Right, coming down, a couple more down here. A power raised to a power, you multiply the powers together. 5 times 3 is 15. And then this one, oh, lots of work here, that's why it's worth 3. 3 has to be raised to the 4th. 3 to the 4th. P squared raised to the 4th, you multiply the powers. P to the 8. Q cubed to the 4th, multiply powers, Q to the 12th. And you could call that 81 if you like. We're not going to require that. But there's 1 mark for that, and here 1 mark for each of the terms because it's harder. Okay. Hope you're doing well. Let's look at some harder ones using powers. So here we go. We've got 4 by 3 numbers together and same bases together. M to the 1 by m squared, don't forget that's m to the 1, is m to the 3. Adding the powers. Multiplication in index land is adding powers. N squared by n cubed, adding the powers, n to the 5th. Okay, so I think here we'll give you just 2 for that, minus 1 for any error. Each error. Okay, let's look at this one. X squared divided by x, or x to the 1. Division, you subtract powers. So it's 2, take 1. The 1's not written there. Y cubed divided by y squared, subtract the powers. 3 take 1, 3 take 2 is 1. So there's 1 mark for each of those. Let's look at the hard one now. This is worth 4 marks. So let's simplify the internal part. 4 divided by 2 is 2. M squared divided by m cubed. Division is subtraction of powers. 2 take 3, neg 1. N to the 5th divided by n squared. 5 take 2 is 3. Division in power land is subtraction of exponents. Okay, let's do it all now. 2 has to be raised to the 3 is 8. M to the neg 1 all to the 3. M to the neg 3, n cubed to the 3, n to the 9. Okay, so we're going to give 2, I'll just rub this out because it's not a mark yet. So here 2 for the inside bracket, and then 2 for the answer. 1 off for any error, giving a total of 8 marks. Let's go to the final hard one in index land, and then there's a hard one in expansions. Okay, so here it goes. It's a multiplication. Let's do the top line first. So it's like saying 2/3 by 5/7. Do the tops together. 2 by 5 is 10. 3 by 7 is 21. Because m's and n's, letters, are pronumerals in algebra land. So they just represent numbers, so we use the same rules. M to the 4th by m to the neg 3. Okay, so that top line is 4 plus negative 3. So 4 take 3 is 1. So our final power there in M land is 4 take 3 is 1. And then n to the 5 times n to the 2. Timesing is adding powers. So adding them is 7. Okay, in the bottom line now, m squared by m to the 4th, adding powers, there's m to the 6, and n to the neg 2 times n to the 3, adding powers is n to the 1. Okay, so let's have a look then at doing our division. So m to the 1, m to the 6, division, subtract powers, 1 take 6, neg 5. and then 7 take 1 is 6. So that's our answer there. Now, I think what we'll do here is there'll be 3 marks for this and 5 for the last one. So the first one is the top line, bottom line, and then the answer. So there are 3 marks there. Okay, let's look at this more complicated looking one. Look at the division. So we've got to say we're dividing by that fraction, all written as powers. It's still a fraction though. So we will multiply by the reciprocal, or the fraction turned upside down, if you like. So I'm going to turn it upside down and multiply by it. Now you might check, do you remember, and you could discuss this with the class and your teacher, do you remember why 2/3 divided by 5/7 from your junior maths is equal to 2/3 times 7/5? And then you do tops together, numerators together, denominators together. Do you remember that? Well, anyway, that's what we have to use here, because they're all powers and fractions with those power expressions. So we're going to have 1 mark for being able to do that. Okay, multiplication by the reciprocal here. Okay, so let's have a look now at the top line over here. This is x squared, y to the, now that's -3, so that's y to the -6, times by here, -2 to the -2 is x to the 4, y to the 2 to the -2 is y to the -4. Over here, nothing to do here, so we'll just write it out again. And then times over here, x to the -2 all to the 3, x to the -6, y cubed all to the 3, y to the 9. Okay, still quite a bit of work to do, so I'm going to come down over here and just put it in this little gap. So let's do the top line now. 3 times, now, x squared by x to the 4th is x to the, add the powers, y to the -6 by times y to the -4, add the powers, further down the number line, go -6 to the left of the origin, and then another -4, x to the -2 times x to the -6, add the powers, further down the number line, x to the -8, y squared by y to the 9, y to the 11. Okay, a lot of work in this one, that's why this one's worth 5 marks. So let's do the division now. It's 3, and here x to the 6 divided by x to the 8th. 6 take -8. 6 plus 8 is 14. Okay, so then in the next line here, next working out y to the -10 over y to the 11, subtraction of powers, is y to the -21, further down the number line. Remember, division is subtraction of powers, or exponents there. Okay, how are you going? I hope that's all going well with you, and see what you think. All right, so let's do the marking. Here we need, I think, what are we going to do? 1 for that line, 1 for that line, and then 1 for the answer. Okay, hang on, and 1 for this, give 1 for this. We've got to have 5 marks. So it's 1 for inverting the fraction and multiplying, 1 for each of these lines, and 1 for that expression, and then 1 for the answer. Could have possibly done with more marks there. All right, let's go to the last one now. Have to read this carefully. This is a practical problem involving expansions. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, so here we go. Write down the dimensions of the shaded rectangle. Okay, shaded rectangle is x plus 5 long. And what's this distance here? It's x take 2. This is 2 and that's x. So the dimensions of is a rectangle x plus 5 long by, we usually put a cross there, by x take 2 wide. Okay, Part B, write the binomial product used to find the area of the region, of the shaded region, then expand and simplify. The binomial product to find the area of the shaded region. Well, the area is, of course, these two things times together. And if you expand it, you get x squared, take 2x, plus 5x, take 10, which is x squared, is that right, x plus 5 by x take 2, plus 5x take 2x, and 5x take 2x is 3x, take 10. That's expansion, so there'd be one for that, and one for the expansion. Okay, part C, find the area of the square of side x and the rectangle of side of width, and the rectangle of length 5 and width x. So let's see if we can picture that here. So we want this whole rectangle here, and that square, sorry, and 5 by x. So 5 by x is this rectangle here. Find the area, so that will be what? X by x, length by breadth, x squared, plus 5 by x, or 5x would be the area expression for that one. So 1 mark for that. Find the unshaded area, writing it as the sum of the areas of the two rectangles, So let's have a look. The unshaded is this here. So the area there is 2 by x, so this is x by 2, so 2x, plus over here, this is 5 by 2, so that's going to be 10. Okay, so there's one for that. And then part E, use your answers in C and D to find the area of the shaded region. So this is, this one here is the total, and this is the unshaded. Oops, shouldn't be ticking it. Don't want more marks there. So the overall area is the big one, the whole thing, minus the unshaded. And so if we look at that, so there's 1 mark for that, it's x squared plus 5x, take 2x, take 10, which is x squared plus 3x, take 10. So it's 1 for that, 1 for that, 1 for that. And part F says compare your answers in B and E. B equals E. Okay, the same answer, meaning there are two ways of calculating the shaded area. Okay, so what have we got there? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we'll need more marks. I reckon there's 2 there, 10. Where can we find you another mark? I think we'll put another mark for this one. Okay. Making 11. Might have been a few 2 marks there for that one. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. There are 60 marks here, so make a total out of 60 and see what you got. Okay, so what you need to do now is look at your errors and try to get some practice problems out of the textbook to cover that, or just do it all again. Okay, go back to the beginning of the video and have a go and practice until you get those methods right. Okay, well, good luck with the real test. Cheers for now.